I'm 27 years old, female, and from a family where close really means we're going to micromanage every single thing you do until you snap. I'm the youngest, with just one older brother, Nolan, who's 32 and somehow thinks he's the family patriarch. He's always been that way, bossy, opinionated, and obsessed with how everyone else lives their lives. My dad is the quiet, go along to keep the peace type, and my mom is the crier. You know the type. Any disagreement turns into why are you tearing this family apart? I work in architecture, live 2 hours away in a small city, and I love my independence. I've built a life for myself, good job, nice apartment, no roommates, and I can finally breathe without someone checking my phone or commenting on my outfits. But apparently that freedom makes me the problem child. Nolan's convinced I'm wasting my life by not settling down with someone he would approve of, living closer to home, and basically living under his thumb again. They've done this family intervention thing more than once. That's what they call it. It's not dramatic like in movies, but it's just as calculated. They invite me for dinner, wait until I'm seated, then take turns expressing concern. Translation: ganging up to make me feel guilty until I agree to whatever they want. Last time, it was Nolan insisting I move back to help with our parents before it's too late. The time before that, it was a full-blown lecture about how I wasn't taking relationships seriously because I wasn't engaged yet. The last visit was when things really shifted. I'd left my phone on the counter while helping my mom cook, and Nolan straight up read my texts out loud at the table. Nothing scandalous, just some flirty back and forth with a guy I'd gone on a couple of dates with, but that didn't stop him. He even added commentary like I was some reckless teenager. I grabbed my phone back and told him he wasn't my legal guardian. My mom started crying. My dad stared at his plate. Nolan said I needed to grow up. After that, Nolan called me and said the family wanted to have a structured talk about my lifestyle the next time I came home, in his words. Like I'm some project they need to fix. That's when I decided, fine. If they want drama, I'll give them a plot twist so wild, they'll never forget it. 2 weeks later, I met Blake. It was a Friday night and I was at this dive bar with some coworkers after work. Blake rolled in on a motorcycle, all tattoos and gravel voice, with that smug confidence that either makes someone your worst mistake or best story. He sat near us and eventually started chatting with me. I don't even know why I told him everything, but I did. He listened, and then I said, half joking, you want to pretend to be my chaotic husband and crash a family intervention? He laughed so hard he almost fell off his stool. Then he said, I've always wanted to play a soap opera villain. That's how the plan started. We decided we'd fake an elopement, show up together, uninvited, to the structured talk, and drop the news like a bomb. We made up a whole backstory, we met in Vegas, had a whirlwind weekend, and got matching tattoos. Blake even bought a fake ring off some sketchy online marketplace. We'd act disgustingly in love. My job was to look dreamy and say things like when you know, you just know. His job was to smirk, wear leather, and say something inappropriate at the worst possible time. I told him we'd leave right after dropping the news and turn our phones off for the weekend. I'd booked myself a spa retreat in the mountains. No signal, no distractions, just silence while they all stewed in confusion. Blake was all in. He even practiced lines like I knew she was the one when she kicked that drunk guy in Vegas, and we were married by an Elvis impersonator. Felt right. I added glitter to my hair and found a white sundress that looked just bridal enough to raise eyebrows. D-Day came. It came. We drove into town that morning. Blake was wearing a leather jacket, aviators, and had his helmet under his arm. I looked like I was floating on a cloud. We walked into my parents' house hand in hand. My mom's face froze, my dad stood up, and Nolan, who had just started saying something about this conversation being important, got interrupted. I looked him